This area is slightly different because we scraped off more of the topsoil, and then we've got slightly more depth of construction waste on here. So you can see there's a much lovelier, more open and more diverse space, and very much lower maintenance. So I haven't got to do much with this. And you can see it's absolutely crawling with invertebrates and bees.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing to see so many. But again, I think that's because you've got a good mix of not only the wildflowers but also the habitat. Because if you didn't have that, they'd have to be travelling a much greater distance and all that type of thing. You wouldn't get colonies here, and you've probably got things coming from, as you said, you already know.
Yeah, I'd hope
coming
so.
From miles
You'd hope
away.
so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing is that open mosaic habitat, which is an incredibly diverse habitat, is really underplayed in landscape, I think, isn't it? You know, I mean, we don't actually design it in very much, do we? It's one of those landscapes that's got, or one of those natural features that's got missed, I'd say, a bit within the landscape industry. So designing open mosaic back into a landscape, you know, it doesn't have to be all like this, but certainly pockets of this within a scheme would be really cool to do.
Definitely. Well, I think this is one of the things that's come up a lot on this podcast generally, is that we need a better mosaic across the landscape, because actually, you know, so many things are so sterile. We were talking earlier about, actually you gave a great example of a car park and an agricultural field, the comparison of the two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, there's been a lot of research done into, you know, and it turns out that a piece of infrastructure, even like a standard multi-storey car park, has more invertebrate activity than the centre of a farm in arable field. And, you know, when you hear it like that, it's quite astonishing, but that's obviously true, because there's no structure, there's no niches, is there? There's no breeding space.
It's all often sprayed as well, which obviously doesn't help.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's
a multi-storey car park is probably less herbicide and less pesticide for sure.
That's it. Probably disturb less. In a way.
And way more sort of little places for things to get. And I think the structural elements, like we've said earlier, are vital. There's no way this landscape would be anywhere near as good without this variety of structure.